Welcome to The Wise Cut. You know, we are constantly just bombarded with advice about life-changing habits, right? Wake up at 5 a.m., take ice-cold showers, read 100 books a year. The list just goes on, and honestly, it's pretty exhausting.
But let's be real for a second. Not all habits are created equal. Some of them can genuinely reshape your entire future, while others, well, they're just social media hype that won't get you anywhere. So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and figure out which habits actually truly move the needle.
You see, the real danger here is getting caught in what I call the productivity trap. This is where you spend hours, color-coding your planners or trying every single new hack you see online. You feel incredibly busy, but then at the end of the day, you look back and you haven't made any real progress. You're just organizing more, not actually doing more. So to escape this trap, we need to ignore all that noise and just start with the foundations. Now, these aren't the flashy habits you see all over Instagram, but I promise you they are the absolute bedrock of a well-lived life. Get these right, and literally everything else becomes easier. First up is the absolute cornerstone of financial freedom. I know, it's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it is the single most important habit that gives you real control over your money and, by extension, your future. So here's why this is so unbelievably powerful. When you finally master living below your means, you create breathing room. This financial margin is what allows you to invest, to save, to handle those unexpected costs that always pop up without all that stress. It's the one habit that stops lifestyle inflation from just eating away at all your hard work.
Next up, your physical health. And this is a big one. You can't enjoy any kind of success if you don't have the health to actually sustain it. I mean, this one habit affects everything: your energy, your mood, your focus, and for sure, your confidence.
And this just shows how simple it can really be. We're not talking about extreme diets or some crazy workout plan. It's all about the basics: getting enough quality sleep, moving your body regularly, even just a walk, and eating food that actually fuels you. When your health is off, man, everything just feels so much harder. Okay, this next one is a habit that just doesn't get talked about nearly enough. You could call it integrity. It's all about building a reputation, first with yourself and then with others, as someone who is reliable and completely trustworthy. Now, what's so interesting about this is the idea of self-trust. Think about it. When you keep the promises you make to yourself, like waking up when you said you would or finishing that project, you fundamentally change how you see yourself. You start to believe you can actually follow through, and that confidence opens up a whole new world of opportunities.
All right, so once your foundation is solid, it's time to build some momentum. These are the habits that create real forward progress and start to accelerate your growth. Let's see what they look like.
So, tracking your money, this isn't about being restrictive, it's just about awareness. You can't manage what you don't measure. And planning your week, taking just 15 minutes on a Sunday prevents countless moments of stress later on. And a simple routine, well, it provides the structure that just makes discipline a whole lot easier. This habit right here changes the entire game. When you start asking yourself, hey, what will be the impact of this choice in 5 or even 10 years? Your daily priorities just shift. You stop chasing those short-term dopamine hits and you start making decisions that actually build a better future. All right, now for the fun part. Let's talk about the habits that get a ton of attention online but are often more hype than help. Seriously, these can so easily become just sophisticated ways to procrastinate. Hustle culture sounds so inspiring, but it's rarely sustainable. Working nonstop doesn't guarantee success. More often than not, it just guarantees burnout. Genuinely successful people focus on working smart and building systems, not just grinding themselves into the ground. The key takeaway here is all about application. Knowledge only matters when it turns into action. I mean, reading 100 books and applying none of it, that's just entertainment. You'll see way more change in your life by reading one great book and fully implementing its lessons. And yeah, the list goes on. Extreme productivity systems. They often make you feel productive without you actually doing anything. The self-help look keeps you consuming information instead of taking action. Waking up at 5 a.m. is totally pointless if you just scroll on your phone for an hour. And things like affirmations or cold showers,
They're pretty much useless if your foundational habits aren't even in place. So what's the big takeaway here? It's not about adopting some random list of habits you saw online. It's about intentionally building a personal system that actually works for you. And it all starts with that strong foundation. And this right here illustrates the framework perfectly. Focus first on the foundational habits, living below your means, taking care of your health and integrity. Then you can add those momentum habits, like planning your week and thinking long-term. And you need to be really selective about those overhyped habits, making sure they truly serve you.
And the truth is, you won't notice the payoff right away. You won't feel it on day one, or maybe even in week one. But those small, consistent actions, compounded over years, that's what creates a completely different future. It's so powerful.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Are your daily habits building the future you actually want, or are they just keeping you busy? The very first step is to choose one foundational habit to master. What's yours going to be? If you found this explainer valuable, thank you so much for watching. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe to The Wise Cut, and let us know your thoughts in the comments.